Hi children, welcome back. This is your ICT sir. Today the chapter number 6. We are going to talk about while do loop. Now we have been learning for do loop. So today we are going to learn about while do and repeat until. It clearly says here, when the number of repetitions are known in advance, while do or repeat until structures are used in advance. While do loop, there are some conditions that you have to remember. The first condition is, the first statement, the conditions are checked at the beginning of the loop. Every loop is checked at the beginning of the loop. Statements inside the loops are executed, loops that runs forever, only if the condition is true. The statement inside the loop never execute if the condition is false. So you must remember, the while do loop only begins if the condition is true, and it stops when the condition is false. The condition becomes false at the end of the repetitions. If the condition does not become false while the repetition is executed, it will be an infinite loop, meaning it will be looping forever. Here is the structure given here. The method while, you have to write the keyword while and the variable that you are going to assign, and the statement inside this, whether it's greater than 0, and then do, you have to write this do, while the number is greater than 0, do, and then the repetition of block is going to be provided here, what you really want it to repeat. For example, number is equals to 1 while the number is the number lesser than or equal to 10. Is it lesser than or equal to 10? Yes. The execution will begin because it's true, and then do. The repeat begins. From here only the repeat starts. Then the number, now normally a 1 is added to its number so that the repetition takes place, and it increments until the condition is met. I hope you understand this. Let's go to the Pascal, Easy Pascal, with my first lesson. The first lesson I have just written some points. So the 2 points that you must remember, there is another condition that you have to write that down here. Okay children, here are the points. I have made a comment from the curly brace bracket to the open curly brace bracket to the last curly brace bracket, closing curly brace bracket. 3 points that you should remember. It's not 2. 3 points to remember. The first point is the conditions are checked at the beginning of the loop. Here is the condition. It's checked. It's checked whether x is something here, whether x is lesser or equal to 10. While will begin if the condition is true. The condition is true now, so it can begin. While will end when the condition is false. So here I'm going to write something here. Right line, apple is printed on the screen, and let's let's just say how many times is it going to print. Okay, print the values that you're going to print. It will print 1, 2. So how many times will it print? Until x is lesser or equal to 10. So then here the increment point is taken place. Add 1 to its previous x value and then increment it. And this is the sub begin of the while. You must remember a while do will have a sub begin inside a main begin. When you run this now, you will see apple is printed first time, second, third, fourth, until 10 times. So the repeat had taken place 10 times until the x is either lesser or equal to 10. When it's equal to 10, it stops. I hope you understood this. Okay children, this is your example number 2. The 3 points that you should remember. And here I have given x as an integer value. Begin, x equals 1, while x is lesser than 10, do. Begin with my sub begin. Right line the value of x which are incremented down below. And once this is done, it ends and the whole program ends. Let me take the Excel side by side. So the condition is checked. It is yes, and then it repeats for a number of times. And when I run this, let's keep Excel side by side. I have 9 numbers printed by incrementing the value x by 1. I hope this lesson is also very clear to you. Alright children, this is your exercise number 3. Look at the 3 points. You should remember the 3 points all the time. Okay, down the program, this is the while do example number 3. Here x is given integer value and x is being now given a initial value of 2. Now I'm going to print all the even numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so while x is lesser than 11, do. So here are the 2 keywords that you must remember: while, condition, and then do. It begins. The first, initially the value of x is printed. Now you should know what is the value that is going to print. 2. Yes, it will be printing 2. Next, only the next line, the incrementing begins. So adding another 2 to its value, it becomes 4. So looking at this, and when I run this, I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the odd numbers for you. Okay, the next one is for you to guess while example 4. Now I want you all guys to tell me what is the value that you're going to put here and what is the condition that you're going to put here and what is the incrementing stage that you're going to write it here. 3 fill in the blanks. Let's see who is good in doing it. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay children, what will you guess? Are you going to put here 1, If you put 1, yes, obviously, so the begin, when it is printed, of course you will get 1 printed. That's okay, you understood that. What is the condition? Is it 10 or is it 11? Guess, tell me what is the value that you will put there. Okay children, I need from 1 to 10, so obviously it has to be 10, lesser than 10. So lesser than 10 means I'm going to get only 9. 9 is an odd number. Yes, correct. So I'm going to get 1 and 9 at the end, of course, right? What is the incrementing stage of that? 1. So how many times should I get the next value? It is 1, 2 and 3. So 2 times. So increment the x by 2. If I add it and now run, I should get 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. I hope you understood this. Yes? Let's move to the example number 5. I'm going to save this now. This is a very interesting segment that you have to learn. Okay? So I have now here x and y as 2 values given to it as integer. Remember the points that you have to remember. What are those 3 points? Always remember those 3 points. Okay, 3 points. Let's test your knowledge. Okay, all these curly brace bracket will not be, the compiler will not read them. It's all ignored by the compiler. Okay, so x and y are integers. X is 2, y is 3. Print all the numbers from 1 to 10. Let's see, not even numbers now. Let's delete all these things. While x is lesser or equal to 10, that means x will loop equal or lesser than, so lesser than 10 or equal to 10. Okay, begin, right line. I'm going to just write a small string value here. The value of x is going to be, how much is the value of x is going to be at the beginning of the, before the loop can increment? Yes, it's 2. Yes, correct. And the y will be exactly 3, correct? So you will get in the first loop, before even it can loop, right, you have 2 and 3 printed there. Let's go to Excel, example number 5. Look carefully, then you will be able to understand. So x is being given 2 and 3 will be printed at the beginning. So now the loop begins, the first loop. Okay, x is 2 and y is 3 all the time. Now here the incrementing of x is add 2 to the previous value of x. So 2, previously it was 2, add another 2, it becomes 4. For 4, if you add another 2, it becomes 6. For 6, if you add another 2, it will be 8. And for 8, if you add another 2, it will be what? 10. Now we have come to the condition of it has become equal. So yes, yes, yes and yes, the condition. When it goes to the last one, it is 12, so it will stop. When it is added 2 to its previous value 10, it is going to be 12, so this will not be printed at all. Only 4 times. 4 times it will be printed. it will print the first one as well, but 4 times it will print. Okay, so when you add the value of x with 3, so what is the value? So 4, previous the first loop, it is 4 plus 3 is 7. You got 7 here. Next, 3 plus 6 plus 9, 6 plus 3, it will become 9. Previous value of the third loop, it is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, 10 plus 3 is 13. So when you run this, here are the values of x and y. 2, previously 2, the 2 and 3 is being printed here. Okay, and then 4, 6, 8, 10, 15. The 12 will be not added because it's not equal. 12 is not equal or lesser than 10, so it is ignored. So when you think of it, the values of y is 7, 9, 11, 13. So these values are seen it one by one. I hope you understood this now as well. When I conclude this chapter number 5, by now you should know how loops works, how incrementing takes place. Let's go to the last one, the 6th chapter. I'm going to save this. Remember the 3 points. I'll just keep on remembering for you. Okay. Here now I have given you another for you to find me what's the value of x and y. I'm going to just go through x and y. X is now 4 and y is now 20. Print. You don't need to print all these numbers, right? While x is lesser or equal to y. The loop will only end if these two are equal. Okay, and then begin. Right line. You know, at the beginning of it, the 4 will be printed because it is not incremented yet. It's the loop has not begin. It is trying to do. So the first loop, it's 4 and y is going to be 20. Okay, and then now the values are being incremented. Previously it was 4 here in x. Okay, x was 4 here, and add to it. So 2 plus 4, it becomes then how much? 6. So then y, previously y was 20, so from 20 minus 2. So I think it is 18. Now it is your time for me to show me the number of loops. Take a piece of paper and see whether you can do it. Here I have taken my Excel sheet. Nicely, if you can see it. Here are the values I have seen given to you. First loop, it is 4 and 20 is going to be printed. That's the first loop. Second loop, I just made it this as first, but this is the first loop, 4 and 20. Look at it. x is added with 2, so it is 6, 8, 10, 12. Look at this, when the statements are equal only, it should stop. So 18, how did 18 come? Can anyone tell me how did 18 come? Yes, 20 subtract, what is that, subtract 2, yes, so y equals, so let's put this down, y equals y subtract 2. From 20 if you subtract 2 is 18, from 18 if you subtract 2 is 16. Okay, so likewise you will get your answer. Let's run this and see whether it's correct. So I got 4 and 20 the first loop. Second loop it is 6 and 18. 8 it is 8 and 16. Second it is 10 and 14. I'm sorry, 14, this should be 14. So from 14 if you subtract 2 is 12, 12. They are both equal. So how many times has it looped? 5 times, isn't it? 5 times has it looped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times it is printed. I hope you understood this. Well, this is the loop, the while loop lesson. Thank you for listening, and I hope you can practice and do some question papers. And have a nice day. God bless. Bye for now. Okay, children. Now it's time for the repeat until structure. Let's see the conditions. The condition is not checked at the beginning of the loop. Remember, previously the while was checked at the beginning of the condition, but here repeat is not checked. Condition is checked after a statements are executed once, when at least one statement is executed. One time only the condition is checked. Loop is started if the condition is false only. While was true, but in repeat it is false. Loop stops when the condition becomes true. If the condition does not become true while the loop is executed, loop will be an infinite loop. It will loop. If you don't find a true value, it will keep on repeating. Example, count equals 0. Repeat. What to repeat? While Pascal. So Pascal is repeated. It's going to repeat Pascal. How many times? You never know. So count is added. 1 is added to the count, previous of the count. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Here the condition is now seen here. When it is greater than 5. So if you look closely and read this, the starting value of the count is 0. Exactly. The word Pascal is displayed on the screen. First time it is displayed. Correct. 1 is added to the count of the variable. Yes, correct, it is 1 is added to the count, the variable count. It is checked whether the value of count variable is larger than 5. It's not larger than 5, so it's false. So the loop executes until the count variable becomes 5. When loop stops when the value of count is 6, not 5. When the loop stops, the word Pascal is displayed 6 times on the screen. So a same one I have brought to you for this easy Pascal. So the 3 points I have written here. Remember those 3 points. X is 1 now. Initially x is given the value of 1. Repeat. What to repeat? I'm just going to write the first one. I'm going to just as the curly brace bracket, I'm going to comment this, and I'm going to open the comment, and let's run this. Okay, so I'm sure that it is going to write to me, welcome to repeat function first time. Then it will increment its value by 1 until it becomes 11. Until it becomes 11. So when you run it, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 10 times. Now you might wonder, why did it only give us 10? Obviously, because it says until x is equals to 11. Okay, so always remember, repeat ends when the condition is true. Okay children, I hope you can understand this. It's very easy. Okay, so 10 times it is printed on the screen. Okay, right, let me take the next one. So remember the 3 statements. Let's take the repeat until example 2. Okay children, I just modified it. So I just put x as 10 now. Repeat. Write x, subtract the value from the x each time when it loops 1. So until it becomes 0. So when you run it, I should get small to big to small. Values. So I hope you are clear to it. Okay children, another exercise with the repeat function. I'm not going to write anything over here. I just took repeating a program, just repeating. I have 2 variables, I and x as integer. Begin, x is 1 and I is 2. Repeat, x is given an initial value of 1 previously. Now x is incremented while it is repeating by 1. So previously it was 1, so 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Okay, then I, initially it was 2, so 2 plus 2, it becomes 4. The value of I plus x together, when you add these two together, what's the value that you will find? So for you to understand this, so it is going to repeat until I is greater than 10. Okay, so I have a small Excel table for you to understand this properly. Here you are now. Look at this now. Okay, so initial values I have marked it in red. X equals 1, so it's 1 until it is, the condition is yes. Okay, so then it can stop. So look at the next statement. I have incremented x by 1, so that is 2. So now I am asking whether 2 is greater than 10. No. 3 is greater than 10. No. So until I come to a point, the computer will exit when x is greater than 10. So it is 11. Now I hope you understood clearly. Okay, then I is initially 2 until the 10th repetition. Then the I is incremented by 2, so it is 2. Okay, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Each time 2 is added. Now I get my output by I plus 6, I plus x. So what is I? I is initially 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 8 is 12. 5 plus 10 is 15. 6 plus 12 is 18. 7 plus 14 is 21. 8 plus 16 is 24. 9 plus 18 is 27. 10 plus 20 is 30. 11 plus 22 is 33. So by now you should know that it is going to loop 10 times, and here are the values. I hope this table is very clear to you. So this is how you normally, whenever you try to make a sum with repeat or loop until, is a good way of keeping a track of all your records, so it is easy for you to find your answer. So when I run it, here is my answer: 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 20. It matches, it tallies my. So try to make this way so that it is easy for you to make sums with repeat and while. Thank you, children. You have a nice day. Goodbye for now.